Alexa, turn it up. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining. Today we are going to do yoga without standing. We're doing no standing at all, except for one, but it's not actually standing. We're going to be falling over, but on our feet. We'll get to it. Now, in a lot of the posts that I've shared, I think I mentioned it, well actually I went over a whole entire segment in meditation last video. So in a lot of these videos, I'm not going to take as much time to do the intention setting. I want you to maybe pause the video before we begin the actual physical practice and just take a few moments to just even, level, balance the breath. Maybe it's by setting a personal intention. Maybe just a simple mantra that may just fit into your life right now. A big one that I have personally been working on lately is breathing in, and I mentally say 4. As I breathe out, give. I need to forgive myself a lot lately. The winter months are really tough. You can kind of beat yourself up a lot. You know, you're not getting as much fresh air. It's cold, so it's not helping you to open your body. It's making you want to go like this instead of going like this so you can breathe deep. We're not breathing as deep as we typically would in the spring, summer, or early fall months. Maybe you need to forgive someone in your personal life. Maybe just something that's not sitting right with you that you really need to take care of. Just ponder on it for a few moments and maybe pause the video if you'd like, just to help even your breath out, okay? We're gonna do some warm-up exercises once you do resume or once we begin. I'm gonna try my best to stay on topic with the lesson plan. So just breathe here. Now, if you pause the video and you're coming back, or if you're just working on evening the intention, the breath, let's begin to breathe in, raise the chin towards the sky. Maybe lift the jawbone, making it a little bit more intense as you lift it. So maybe lift it up as you breathe in. Exhale, lower it, but continue drawing the chest up, the chin up. Maybe every once in a while lift the jawbone. As you exhale next, begin to tuck the chin towards the chest. Maybe as you inhale next, raise the chest. Maybe as you exhale, bring your chin a little bit closer down towards the chest. Breathe. Maybe as you breathe in, lift the chin. As you exhale, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. You should be feeling it in the left side of this neck here. Now, while you're drawing the ear down, I want you to check in with those shoulder blades again. Make sure they're being drawn together. Keep the even breath. Just a few deep breaths here. Inhale, lift the head up as you breathe out. Drop that right ear down. Again, check in with the shoulder blades. Make sure they're drawn together. Keep drawing that left ear down. And for those of you that are noticing my music, this isn't my typical music, but it's a good day for some Matchbox Pandora. Playing some Blues Traveler. Keep breathing. Some Hootie and the Blowfish. A few more deep breaths here as you stretch out that right side. Breathe in, raise the head up. Now I want us to just move these shoulders around. And as you begin to move the shoulders, maybe begin to even feel it in your sides. It's really interesting. Once you just start doing a lot of these simple stretches that we've already gone over, you start to feel different areas of your body. Like, wow, I didn't even know I could stretch that or move it around. It's very interesting how often you are working on your core just by checking your posture, making sure your hips are facing forward in a lot of these poses. While you do that and you keep that even breath, you are slimming your core out. It's really, really interesting. And you'll begin to notice yourself even maybe engaging your stomach a lot more as you learn this breath work. But remember, it always takes time. Don't feel like you have to pick it up right away through the first even 2 videos of this. Yoga is a discipline. Meditation is a discipline. Yoga is a moving meditation. It is natural for you to get distracted. When you notice yourself getting distracted and a little bit away from trying to focus on keeping that breath flowing, don't beat yourself up. Just pick your breath back up. Maybe start off counting. Maybe shifting what you originally were trying to focus on. It is okay to do that. It's natural. It's called adapting, moving forward, changing. So I want to do a few shoulder stretches. As you notice, we are working from the body down in today's practice. So we took care of that neck. Let's shift over to our stomachs. That's going to be our first shoulder opener of the day. We're going to do 2. So come to lie on your stomach here. Maybe create a pillow with your hands so you can rest your forehead. Maybe even rock the hips back and forth here. Maybe notice how you're feeling a little release in the lower back from this. Just make sure your breath is even once more. Now, the first thing we are going to do, we're going to take our right arm and tee it out. Tee it out, straight out to the side. Plant the palm on the ground. So I'm going to show you what it should look like with my left hand. Having that right arm teed out. So we're going to make sure our wrist is in line with our elbow and shoulder, okay? So do that with the right arm, tee it out. Now, raise the left side of the body with the left hand and the left foot. Maybe raise the head, or lower the head, I'm sorry. Or if you feel a little strain in your neck or shoulder, maybe take a pillow or a yoga block, place it underneath your head. Maybe bring this left foot to the outside of the right leg to open up that flex, that hip flexor. If that bothers you in any way in your upper shoulders, maybe bring that foot back. You can do so many different options here. And if it bothers you to have that right arm all the way out, maybe extend your arm above the head. You're still stretching that shoulder out, just a little less intense. Just breathe with whatever modification you choose to go with. Remember, this is your practice. There is no expectation from me as your teacher. There should be no expectation for you in your own practice. You will learn. Keep breathing. It's all about self-love here. As you exhale, let's slowly lower that left side of the back. Create a pillow once more with your hands. Lower the forehead. Let's rock those hips back and forth here. Keep that breath steady. Draw those shoulder blades together. Now let's begin to tee this left arm out. Plant the right hand on the ground. As you inhale, use your right hand, right foot to gently raise the right side. Now maybe again, bring that right foot out to the outside of that left leg. If this bothers your left hand, or your left arm, or your left shoulder, maybe just raise the hand up. Whatever feels best here. Just make sure you're able to breathe. And remember, you can always set your head on a pillow or a block in this. You don't have to have your head towards the ground. I do this stretch probably like 6 times a week. It was not easy bringing my head down to the ground originally, but once I began doing this over and over, I noticed how much farther down I could go. I've noticed how much better it felt bringing this right foot out to the side. It's crazy how much you learn to adjust to what your body likes, what your mind's telling you. Like, this feels good, let's stay here, let's heal. As you exhale next, lower down onto that pillow. One more time. Rock those hips back and forth. Now, let's bring our hands, place them underneath the shoulders, keep the elbows closed. Gently Lift the chin. Oh, I'm sorry. I went all the way to high cobra. So we can gently lift the chin, maybe slightly to the chest. Keep the elbows close. Keep the feet wide in this. This is low cobra. Maybe you want to lift up a little bit more, raising all the way down past that waistline. Make sure you keep those arms close. Maybe this bothers you a little too much. Maybe both cobra variations were just not your thing. Maybe come down to your forearms. Make sure your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Elbows also in line with pointed fingers. Lift the chin in Sphinx. So a different variation you can do is Sphinx instead of Cobra. During any of these practices that I'll be posting, always feel like you can come down to Sphinx. So let's breathe here. 5 breaths. Once you're done with that 5th breath, lower down just for a minute. Let those hips rock. Now let's bring those hands underneath the shoulders. Once again, keep the elbows close. Lift the body. Come up onto the knees. Let's bring the 2 big toes together. You can keep the knees together. Maybe bring them out wide to the edges of the mat. I'm going to scoot up so you can see where my body's going. Lower your bottom towards the heels. Begin to walk the hands forward. Lower the forehead. Reach the fingertips out. So once we do this, really focus on letting this chest sink, especially if you have your knees out wide. This gives your chest room to lower a little bit more. Once you're there, you're letting that chest sink. Notice how your shoulder blades are being drawn together in this simple motion. It's so cool. And if you want to continue reaching your fingers out, really feel that stretch all the way up from the top of your arm to the middle, to the bottom, even through the armpit. Keep breathing. Now let's breathe in, rise up to our hands and knees. We're gonna come to tabletop. So, first thing is first, we are practicing Hatha Yoga, especially in a lot of these beginner series. Hatha Yoga is all about alignment. It's about finding the right form, really understanding how these poses should look. My arm is not normal. So let's make sure the both shoulders are towering over the wrists. We have a pretty much flat back. Our hips are right above our knees. Once we have that alignment, make sure you have an even breath. When you shift, especially from your hands to your knees, sometimes you do need to reset an intention. Just a few even breaths here, in and out through the nose. As you inhale next, raise the head and tailbone. Exhale, tuck the head and tailbone towards the belly button, curving the spine. Breathe in, let the belly drop as you lift the head and tailbone. Exhale, tuck. This is cat and cow. This is one of the best, most simple stretches you can do. This helps you to really focus on the breath. You're opening your chest. You're warming up that spinal cord. You're toning your stomach. Just match the inhales with the lifts, the exhales with the tucks. All right, let's come back to a flat back. You can do that for a little while longer if you'd like. Cat and cow is the best pose you can do, especially as a beginner. It helps you understand the way the breath works. That's something I never learned when I first started yoga. I'm sure so many of you have heard me go on about this, but focus on understanding the breath part before the asana, before the physical practice. I think we are up next for thread the needle. I can't even find it. Yes! So this is another shoulder release. You can place a block or a bolster underneath your face right now. I'll show you what we can use this for. As you inhale, raise your right hand towards the sky. As you breathe out, swing it behind this left wrist. Maybe lower that right ear down to the block or pillow. Maybe get that stuff out of the way. See if your right ear goes all the way down to the ground. Now maybe walk this left hand out to the left a little wider, aligning this elbow and wrist. So we're gonna push this left hand into the ground next. Check to make sure your hips are even here. So that is a huge key point here. You need to make sure those hips are even. The more even you keep these hips, the more of a release you'll get in the shoulders. So it's a continuing thing as you keep the breath even. Make sure you're pushing that left hand into the ground and then check in with those hips. So inhale, push the left hand into the ground. Exhale, check the hips. Keep breathing a few more breaths. If you notice, we are twisting the belly here as well. Another pose that we're doing on the ground, toning our stomachs. How stinking cool. Keep breathing. As you breathe in, push this left hand into the ground. Swing this right hand towards the sky. Lower the right hand. So let's come down to melting heart, or if you'd like to go to child's pose, feel free. So melting heart, make sure that the hips are right over the knees, lower onto the forehead, okay? Let the chest sink, reach the fingers out. This gives your chest better room to sink towards the ground. Drawing the shoulder blades together, take a moment to breathe. As you inhale, let's come back on up to our hands and knees here. Move around. So as you inhale, raise that left hand now towards the sky. Breathe out, swing it behind the right wrist. Lower the left ear either to a pillow, to a block, or if you can go down all the way, the left ear. Or to the mat, not to the left ear. That doesn't make sense. Lower the left ear to the mat. Now, check to make sure this right hand is in line with that right elbow. Push the right hand into the ground. Make sure these hips are even. So drop that right side. Inhale, push the right hand into the ground. Exhale, check the hips. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. As you inhale, push that right hand into the ground, swing the left hand up. Lower down, and let's lower to child's pose. Just for a moment, just to stretch those arms out. Maybe even move around here. Let's breathe in, rise back on up. And let's go ahead and come back down to a seated position. Now you can come seated with your legs crossed. You can come onto a bolster, a block, in any way. I'm actually going to sit mother hen-like. This has been best for my shoulders personally. Having my legs crossed for some reason always brings a little more pressure. So, come into your comfortable position. Breathe in, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, lower. Now while we do this, draw the shoulder blades together. Breathe in, raise. Exhale, lower. Breathe in, up. Exhale, down. Breathe in, up. Exhale, down. Do a few more breaths. In. All right, let's bring the shoulders back down. Let's move them around here. Just breathe. Breathe it out. So another thing I would like to do, now I want to say this a million times. I am not a massage therapist. This is not massage. This is muscle release, okay? So we're going to come down if we have anything elevating our bottom. Let's extend our left foot out. We're going to grab the bottom of our right foot. And let's start to make some circles with our thumbs throughout the bottom of this right foot. Now, if you're using your thumbs on the bottom of the foot, use the other fingers to rub out the top of the foot. So make sure you get the balls of your right foot Make sure you get the arch of your right foot. Make sure you get the center of your right foot. Keep the even breath. Oof, that feels so good on these cold days especially. Make sure you get the outside of the foot, the heel even. Just keep breathing. Now, maybe give the fingers a break for a moment and use your knuckles to make some circles. Don't wear the fingers out too bad. Make sure you get all over the foot. Maybe even use your fist. Switch it up. Maybe move back to the thumbs. Just keep breathing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now let's go ahead and release the right foot. Move the right wrist around. Now I want us to bring our hands behind and just do some ankle circles. Maybe do them both together. In circles, maybe switch the rotation. Maybe do opposite. Maybe just move the feet each way, however feels good. Just keep the breath even though. Keep that breath even. First focus above all. It'll give you space to kind of understand where you need to be in your practice. I know that sounds kind of strange, but it gives you more space to really focus on your body and what maybe you should do or shift to that makes you feel better in each pose. Now let's go ahead and keep this right leg extended. We're gonna grab the bottom of the left foot now. Begin to make some circles, maybe with the thumbs, using the other fingers for the top of the foot. Make sure to get the balls of the foot. Make sure to get the outside of the foot. Maybe even get the middle of the foot. Maybe go over to the arch of the foot. Just keep breathing. Maybe switch over to the knuckles. Make sure not to wear those hands out too bad. Ooh, poppity pop. Remember all these pops that you're feeling in these practices, I should say, are good pops. You're not doing anything bad to your body. It's just it's a release. Maybe you have some stress, maybe of pain, maybe of sorrow. Just keep breathing. A few more breaths here. Really get the spots that maybe need the extra attention. Woo! All right, let's release the left leg. Let's extend these legs out wide. Now keep the feet flexed. That means having the bottom of the foot straight. Bring your hands in front. Let the head hang and just breathe evenly here as we do this wide-legged forward fold, seated wide-legged forward fold. Make sure to keep those feet flexed. Breathe in, rise on up. Bring the legs together. Now come into a comfortable seated position. Maybe you have your legs extended. I'm gonna come back onto this bolster. I really like this bolster. Scoot back just a little. All right, now, of course we gotta do our fingers. You can't just do your feet and not your fingers. So let's extend our left leg up and out. Now I want you to make sure your wrist is in line with the elbow and the shoulder here throughout the entire time. As you keep your breath even, begin to draw each individual finger back. Take turns. Just keep breathing. Keep working. Maybe draw all of the fingers back together. Keep that wrist in line. Keep that breath even. Go ahead and draw all the fingers down. Keep that wrist in line. Move the hand around here. Go ahead and lower that left arm. Let's move these shoulders around now. Woo, pop, pop, pop. Maybe you just take opposite. Just like this. Take opposite. Now, come back to a neutral seated. Raise the right hand up and out. Keep that wrist in line with the elbow and the shoulder. Breathe as you begin to draw each finger back individually. Keep breathing. Woo! Remember to check in with that wrist, that breath. Maybe go through the fingers again. Maybe draw all of them back individually. Maybe you draw all the fingers back together. Keep that wrist in line. Maybe lower the fingers down. Keep that wrist there. Lower that right arm. Move these shoulders around. Now let's come to completely on our bottoms. Extend our legs out in front. Now we're going to do two different types of a seated forward fold. Now while we're sitting down, make sure you're drawing those shoulder blades together. Now for this first one, we're going to dramatically flex these feet. Dramatically bend the knees. Place our hands underneath the hamstrings. Make sure the shoulder blades are drawn together. As you breathe in, lift your chin gently towards the sky. As you exhale, begin to bring your chin towards your knees. Keep the feet flexed. Keep the breath even here. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Breathe deep in and out. Keep that chest open. Keep the feet flexed. It's all about alignment here. As you inhale, rise back on up. Release the feet. Bring the hands behind. Let's let the head drop as you lift the chin. Move the ankles around. Keep breathing. Now, keep the legs extended. Draw the shoulder blades together. You can slightly bend the knees, but don't focus on having the knees bent. So instead of drawing our chin towards our knees, this time we're going to have our hands moving towards our feet. That's going to be our focus. But the expectation is to not touch the feet. Maybe you just need to place your hands on your shins or maybe your knees and you just need to stay there. I'm going to show us a few different methods of doing this though. As you breathe in, raise your hands up and out. As you exhale, bring your hands towards the feet. So don't think of it as reaching towards the feet. Maybe think of it as moving forward, moving towards the feet. Maybe we can only have our hands right here at the top of our shins. You can stay here and breathe evenly, or breathe in, lift the body, bring the hands to the knees or the quad area. As you exhale, fold over the legs once more. Breathe in, exhale. So this is the more vinyasa aspect. You're breathing in, you're matching the breath work with the body movement. Exhale, folding forward. Breathe in, exhale. Now keep those shoulder blades drawn together while you're doing this. Remember, you can always bend the knees if it feels better on the hamstrings. A few more breaths here, or if you just want to stay here, stay still for a moment and breathe deep. You can switch it up too. Keep breathing. As you inhale, let's rise on up. Bring our hands behind. Bring the bottoms of our feet to the mat. As you breathe in, raise your bottom. Let your head fall. Reverse tabletop. Just breathe. Kind of contradicting these forward folds, giving the back a break here. Just keep the butt lifted. Exhale, lower the bottom down. Let the head fall into the knees as you wrap the arms around. Move back and forth here. Maybe just let the knees rock back and forth. Keep breathing. Now let's wrap our left arm around the legs. Keep them even forward. As you inhale, Windmill this right hand behind, maybe look over the right shoulder. As you breathe here, I want you to check in with some of these check-in points. Make sure your shoulder blades are being drawn together. Make sure your knees are facing forward in an even way, therefore the hips should be the same. So once you make sure the shoulder blades are drawn together, the hips are even, the breath is even, make sure the chest is at a comfortable place where you can take those deep, even breaths. So here in this TP twist, we're de-stressing the shoulders, the upper back, all of that tension you may just build up in there. You're opening the chest, giving yourself room to take deeper breaths. You're twisting and detoxing your belly, toning that belly again. So de-stressing the back, toning, treating the mental health with the deeper breaths. As you inhale, windmill this right hand forward. Maybe just bring the hands to the sides of the feet. Maybe lower the head and rock. Let's come back on up. Wrap the right arm around the knees. Make sure the knees are even, facing forward. As you inhale, windmill this left hand behind. Place that left hand either right behind the bottom of the spinal cord or to the left of the bottom, to the left cheek. Whatever feels best on the shoulder. Maybe look over the neck if it doesn't cause any pain to the neck. Let's do our check-in points. Make sure that the shoulders are drawn together, the knees are facing forward, our chest is comfortable. Take those deep, even breaths. A few more breaths. Breathe in, windmill this left hand forward. Let's move around here, move those shoulders. Now I was really hoping to get to a ton more today, but of course, I always go over time. So we're gonna do one hip opener, okay? The next segment I'm going to release is going to be the last 20 poses I wasn't able to do. So bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let the knees rock, bounce is what I mean. Make sure the shoulder blades are drawn together. Maybe stop the bouncing of the knees and begin to make some small circles to the right. Ooh, that feels good. Just keep breathing. Maybe begin to make circles all around, left, back, right, front. Just keep that breath even and just move where it feels good. Maybe begin to make some small circles to the left. Breathe. Maybe begin to make those circles all the way around, left, right, front, back. Let's begin to slow the circles down. Let's place the hands right in front. Let the heads fall. And just breathe here for a moment as the pose goes from being active to passive. Very, very neat. You literally just didn't even shift your body other than you stopped moving. Keep that breath steady. Let's breathe in, rise up, bring the hands behind, roll the knees together. Move around here. Whew. I didn't even have my watch on. It'd be interesting to see how many calories was burned. For those of you that watch the Shavasana video, I'm gonna have a lot of these practices mainly be physical practices that I'll be posting, and then I'm going to also have some other like just meditation, strictly meditation stuff. So you can refer back and forth. I'll have everything labeled and a little bit more organized. But I will have the rest of the sequence posted, possibly tomorrow or Monday. We're gonna continue this yoga without standing because it's an awesome little thing to do, especially if you don't feel like doing a lot of physical movement. This is like the lazy girl's workout. I love it. I would appreciate all of the most honest feedback. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. Whatever I can do to better improve these videos. Thank you so much for joining me. Message me, text me any questions on anything at all. Trying to make this accessible to everyone so everyone can learn and keep learning, and I can learn from you. I appreciate you and all of your time and all of your effort. Namaste.